Welcome back to the Claman Countdown live from CES in Las Vegas. We need to show you shares of industrial giant Caterpillar. Right now they are down. They've been fluctuating down 3 to 4% today, but in a world and in a year that has been dominated by stocks about the hyperscalers and all kinds of technology, when you're talking about like Silicon Valley, Caterpillar stock was the one that grabbed investors' attention. It got crowned 2025's best performing stock of the Dow Jones Industrials. The company is synonymous, of course, with the ubiquitous yellow excavators tearing up the ground. Well, they are tearing up the floor here at CES. Big pivot to AI. They've got an AI assistant, and Caterpillar CEO Joe Creed gave a keynote today. In fact, just a few hours ago, he gave the presentation. Here's what he said.
We're making that invisible layer of the tech stack, the physical foundation that the modern world depends on, more intelligent. Sensors, software, connectivity, and AI are turning static infrastructure into systems that can see, systems that can learn, and now can adapt. That's how the Caterpillar you thought you knew starts to look really different.
See, everybody's wearing yellow around here. Caterpillar yellow. In a Fox Business exclusive, CEO Joe Creed gave us his vision for the future of Cat and artificial intelligence. Watch.
We are so excited this week to unveil the Cat A.I assistant. This is a Cat 306 excavator. It's something you would see very common in the construction sites when you're driving down the road. And our mission is to solve our customers' toughest challenges. And some of the things I hear when I talk to customers are, hey, we have shortage of operators, and we have new operators that aren't skilled and experienced, so the training time is really hard. We have inefficiencies that causes, which is costly, and then most importantly, safety. So the Cat A.I assistant helps address all of these things. It's essentially a personal assistant for an operator in the cab or a technician that wants to fix the machine.
So it's not replacing the operator?
No, it's a personal assistant.
And it's exactly the same excavator. I mean, look, you guys have all seen the big pieces of equipment that are attached here. It's the same piece, but inside, this is where the AI assistant comes in. So show us what it can do.
Yeah, so this is Mark, and so what we've done here is simulate, he's an expert, what we've done is simulate a job site. So if you can see overhead, we have power lines. So these are power lines that you would see on a job site, a construction site. That's a challenge for our customers. So it's a safety concern if the boom hits it. It also can set the job back by days or weeks. And so Mark's going to demonstrate some of the features. If you're a new operator and you don't know what to do, how this really helps you.
Go for it.
So it's as easy as this. I can just talk to the machine, and I'm in a situation where I don't want to hit those power lines, so I can ask if there's a feature to help. Hey, Cat, I see power lines overhead. How can you help me avoid them?
This machine is
So now if I wasn't familiar with the machine, it's telling me that there's a feature available to help me stay away from the power line.
And then what? Does it do it? Let's see.
The next thing I can do, I know how high those power lines are, so I can go ahead and set a de-ceiling. Hey, Cat, set a de-ceiling overhead for 13 feet. All right, now let me show you how it works. All right.
13 minutes.
As I raise my bucket up in the air, you can see as I get closer to the power lines, it's going to prevent me from going any higher. It's working with me to keep me safe.
Joe, what are the most dangerous mistakes that this AI assistant has already prevented?
Well, when we get out here, some of the things, these types of things where there are power lines, we have also assist systems on here as well that are safety features where it can recognize people and just keep people safe in the job site. Mining and autonomy is another thing that we're showcasing here. We've been doing autonomy we started in the 90s. We've been working in mining, and it's a controlled environment. When you think about going to construction, you have power lines, you could have traffic, you have much more variables in the environment. The Cat A.I assistant paired with autonomy and autonomous systems that now we can do on the edge with our partnership with NVIDIA, really just the game changer when it comes to recognition, safety, keeping people safe, making sure they return home to their families.
So here's the question. Are the new most valuable hires at Caterpillar wearing hard hats, or are they doing software?
It's both, right? That's the amazing thing. You see this technology now move into the physical world, and AI, it's not just software anymore. So we have a ton of people who are experts and engineers and wear hard hats and know how to design machines and iron. We have a ton of software engineers as well that are going to take us into the next century.
If a Silicon Valley software engineer came in and looked at Caterpillar and saw this kind of equipment, what would surprise them most?
Yeah, I think they would be surprised how much technology is actually on the machine. People think of equipment as sort of iron, it's just dumb iron. Now, these machines, the amount of compute power that's on them, there are limitless opportunities for us now when you think about the work site of the future.
I'm looking at, you mentioned iron, a lot of steel, a lot of aluminum, I would imagine, a lot of different equipment that is imported. Tariffs, I got to ask you about tariffs, because last year you said that the hit would be anywhere from $1.5 billion to $1.8 billion because of the tariffs on steel, aluminum, etc. Does that shape up to be more expensive or less than last year?
So it's probably, we're going to get into our 2026 numbers when we get to earnings, but some of these tariffs, we didn't have a full year last year, so obviously when you have a full year as they sit today, it's probably going to cost us a little more. We are a net exporter, and we've been a net exporter for a very long time. We're going to continue to do that. We've increased our workforce here in the U.S., and so what we are excited about is the momentum we have in our business.
Caterpillar was the winner on the Dow Jones Industrials last year.
Yes.
How do you keep that momentum going? The stock has been on an absolute tear. Yeah. Investors are really loving you as a relatively new CEO, but somebody who's been at Caterpillar for how many years?
28 and counting, so.
Started as an accountant, rising all the way up to the top. What is your big push for this year?
So we just launched our new strategy. We celebrated our centennial last year. Our people delivered an amazing year. We launched a new strategy. What a great 2025. What a better place to start 2026 in our next century than here at CES. We're leaning into technology. We have a record backlog. Whether it's mining or it's construction or it's power. You think about CES, so we're here in our booth. Every booth here, what people don't see in the tech stack, whether it's a new screen, a new AI, image generator, all of it runs on physical infrastructure. Minerals need to be pulled from the ground for chips. Data centers have to be constructed. They need power to keep going and grow, and that's what Caterpillar does. It all relies on us.
Joe, thank you so very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That was terrific. Great, you bet. It's fantastic. We really appreciate it.